But like ultimately, there's no denying that like Don Bluth screwed up with his business practice of running the studio and made some pretty bad decisions. And every single time I had a critique of what went wrong, they have an excuse. And I'm like, that's a bit convenient, considering that like at the end of the day, you did fail. So to be completely absolved of any blame at all seems kind of suspicious. So whatever. I don't know. It's not like I have any beef with Don Bluth. I think he's a fantastic animator. He's a great writer. I mean, Secret of Nim is one of my favorite films ever. But it's at the same time, I'm like, where's this publicist coming from? Come on, because they're like, well, have Don Bluth sign some autographs for you, and I'm like, ooh, like
put me in the Dragon's Lair movie, and then we'll talk.
Yeah, but until then, everybody get in position because we are about to start the main show. Hello and welcome everybody to the AWKWARDCast, where Anwar and Keyframe wonder about random dribble. And today with us, once again, the still image of... Oh goddammit, he moved. He moves!
For the cartoon arm crossing
for the first time
do the cartoon reviewer pose.
This one you mean?
Oh, I'm so sorry. No.
But yeah, for the first time,
I gotta go now.
In color, and oh boy, and apparently I'm already losing him again. For the first time with us in motion, Saberspark. Welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
Is this my second time or third time back?
Second
time, right?
Third.
I mean,
okay.
One of the times you were a little bit on the tipsy end, so I'm not
No,
surprised.
twice he was on the tipsy end. Who are you kidding? He was
Oh.
he was drunk. What's the poison today, Saber?
I got some leftover cold brew from this morning, and I put some Jack Daniels in it. So it's caffeine and alcohol.
Perfect.
Oh, that's always a recommended mixture by every health professional.
Last week was Will, right?
Last week was Will.
Where both of you indulged a little bit in the over-the-date wine, grape juice, and it was a great show, so I'm not complaining about people drinking on the show. I'm not sure, does Twitch complain?
I don't think Twitch complains. They don't know we exist. In the blip world of Twitch, I think we are like... that joke from Shark Tale where it shows like the food chain and then Will Smith fish being on the bottom. And then there's you.
The
but anyways,
being nobody.
Saber, we are happy to have you back on the show. Your first 2020 appearance. It's good to have you back, dude. For the like 2 people who probably don't know you, who are you? What do you do? And why should people care?
My name is Saberspark. I make videos on YouTube talking about obscure, weird, furry, bad, defunct, just all kinds of just out there animated content, just discussions about that, research, and what else do? I do an assortment of podcasts on the side that I appear as a guest in, not
you
hosting.
do dramatic readings on Twitch, if this past weekend has shown.
Butch Hartman's wonderful book. Yeah, that was a trip. That was a trip.
Oh my god, that was such a lovely way to spend my morning. Was just.
I mean, Butch Hartman, $20, Mad Hustle. You know, that's I can't.
Your reaction to him on that game show was priceless. That was the true winner that day.
And I mean,
that really threw me off.
$20 for the book sounds still a lot cheaper than how much was it for his Christian propaganda show?
Oh, I mean, $130, which was it's amazing because I'm doing a video right now of Veggie Tales, and you see a show that's much more caring and has a lot more substance compared to Butch Hartman, who's like, it's a Christian cartoon, put it out, they'll buy it. Which, spoiler alert, I mean, I'm sure he made his money back, but still, that's like, yeah, this seemed like it was kind of a random project. He was like, I want to do a Christian cartoon now. Whoa. So, thanks, Boyd.
But yeah, we're happy to have you on the show. As happy as I am that I have a black bar over me.
Oh no! Why do we have a pre-show and nobody points this stuff out to me in time?
No, it's still there.
There we go.
There we go. Now I'm properly cropped.
Yeah, exactly.
But now, Saber, what have you been up to recently? I'm sure you've had a life of mad adventures and saving damsels and walking Lammy, like
all the time. Working on projects. I mean, I worked from home leading up into COVID, so little has changed except for like not going to many cons, not going to see friends and family as much, not going out to do like the movie theaters or going to like, I don't know, festivals or anything. I guess they were. Yeah, just kind of staying at home, which again, for work, that's kind of been the case. So in that regard, nothing's really changed. And I'm just pushing to get more videos out, trying to make better content, more content. That's the objective. If everybody's home watching on the computer, then now it's time to make content for the computer.
Oh, well, I mean, like, I have to say, Saber, your content's been too good. How are we supposed to compare with our working a day job at another YouTube channel and him?
I'm I don't
his
even compete
his 9
anymore.
to 5. How dare you? Our content is this.
9 to 5, huh? I tell you though, I personally I've been on the end of the 9 to 5 job. I kind of miss it because since I am my own boss, it's like you have to weigh the options. On one hand, when you work a 9 to 5, and this isn't always the case, but I know friends and family who work 9 to 5s, 8 to 5 sometimes. And I do miss when it's time to work, you're working. When 5 o'clock rolls around, you are done. Like, go home, live your life, go to the gym, watch some movies, make some food, do some hobbies. That's your time. The weekend, that's your time. I miss that. Versus, like, I mean, I haven't had a day off, I don't think, in years. And that's not a complaint. That's not a complaint. I don't know how to have days off anymore. And that's not a complaint at all.
Yeah,
Especially
since, like, your place of work is also your place of leisure half the time.
I don't even do leisure stuff anymore, really. I don't play games. You know what? You want to know what game I've been playing to pass the time to unwind? Take a guess. It's a game that that is a default game on Microsoft.
Oh, so Solitaire?
Yep. I play Solitaire.
I mean, that's the good shit. You open that up in your computer lab back in the day and just start playing it. Like, yeah. That's better than me. I actually bought a pack of cards to play Solitaire at my table during lunch breaks because I love actual hand cards. That was a thing. My dad. Yeah. Oh boy.
Keep going.
Oh yeah, you have headphones. No, my dad actually, one of the first things he taught me as a kid was a bunch of card games. So War, Texas Hold'em, and Solitaire, and that's basically all we would play when he took me to his job that my uncle owned a brick and mortar record store, and my dad worked there along with his other job. And so he would take me, little dumb kid, and we would just play War and poker outside of the store in one of the little tables, and I got really good at War and nothing else. We learned that I have specific skills in certain things, and that's usually things that no one else likes.
I am really good at War. Keyframe 2020.
Spoken like a true American.
Hell yeah.
Got my cards. Yeah. I got this
nice.
In a chess set. I got a cool chessboard for my Christmas or birthday back when I was like in high school. And it came with a pack of cards I completely forgot about until I moved. And I'm like, oh, I rediscovered these. I'm like, oh yeah, I got cards.
There's nothing better than the smell of a pack of cards, like a fresh pack. It's like,
oh well.
I don't know. Playing cards to me have a certain smell to them, and I like them. They're nostalgic.
Like trading cards, do with like Pokemon cards, like. I don't know why.
Playing cards just to me kind of smell like old things, like old casinos and body shops, and maybe that's just the fact of where I grew up, so I have a weird mental association. But there were cards at like a little chill area at Euroference last year, and me and Max played War for a little bit, and I won't lie, the smell of like shuffling the cards and stuff, I was like, Childhood.
So apparently smell is like one of the most like when it comes to like having your memory jumped. There's visuals, there's touch or whatever, but like smell is like one of the most like powerful. Where it's like, oh my god, oh Thanksgiving 1998 or something. Like it's weird or something like that. How your brain immediately is like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I have that around gas stations and mechanics because where I used to live, each corner, like you would walk around the corner, each corner was a gas station. So I would just, if I smell like, car fuel, gas, garages, that kind of thing, tires, it's like, I'm home. That's why I can't live in the country, man. I have to live in the city. I have to live near mechanical things.
I can't do cities. I can't. So I'm curious because like I love mountains. I love mountains. Yeah. I like rolling green hills. I like small towns. I do not like being around lots of people. Like when I go to conventions, like I can dive in for a bit and be like, okay, I'm in an area. This is an experience. A certain brand of atmosphere.
Introvert batteries go down. I take it.
I've seen you dive in quickly into vendor halls, and then I could just see. This is the great thing. I've been. My table's been both at the beginning of the vendor hall journey and at the end, and I've seen Saber's two modes of the beginning of your batteries being okay, like, oh yeah, cool, yeah. End of the battery journey. Hey, Chrissy.
So I'm sorry if I was dismissive. I honestly, it's like in Dragon Ball Z with Kaioken, where Goku like powers up for a moment. That's how I feel with doing like improv panels, hosting panels, emceeing for concerts, shaking and greeting people, shaking hands and greeting people. I can put on I have a window about 5 hours in the morning from like, let's say 9 a.m. to 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 5 hours or so where I can put my best foot forward. But after around 2 or 3 o'clock, I'm like, yoink, it goes downhill. So
9 to 5, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, no hard feelings to folks. I feel bad because like Race Best is an extrovert. He is. He can flip that switch on and be like, I'm ready, and keep it going until. Oh yeah, I have respect for extroverts who can go out there and just hold their ground. For me, it's like, all right, I'm ready. Like, let's go. But then, like, after a few hours, I'm like, I'm done. I can't. I'm done. I have to recharge. I'm a hybrid introvert extrovert where at my core I'm an introvert, but I have extroverted tendencies that I can bring out and hold my ground for a few hours, and then it's like afterwards.
This is actually a very common phenomenon across at least the content creators in our circles. That many of them, I mean, Keyframe, I believe for you it's similar. That you are also I thought for the longest time she would be an extrovert because she can be so high energy.
Yeah, there was a specific conversation we had. It was like we were at Disney for like my 21st birthday, and I told him, "Oh, I'm an introvert." And he just looked at me like, "Bullshit." I was like, "What?" And he's like, meanwhile, like a few minutes beforehand, I basically waxed nostalgic with this fucking family that accidentally photobombed my birthday picture. And I was like, "Hey guys, how you doing?" It's my birthday and stuff. And I took a picture with this random family I don't even know, and we were like hanging out like we were buddies. And I was like, I have the battery of I have the internal battery of an introvert, but the charisma of an extrovert.
Which is, like that's I'm with you. Introvert, extrovert. That stuff's a spectrum to me. And like some folks, you are either solely introverted or entirely extroverted. Like there's one or the other. And I'm like, no, it's a spectrum. Like I know folks who are like they recharge by being extroverted, but being introverted for them is like draining. Versus introverts who recharge by being alone, and then when they have their energy, they go out and do extrovert stuff, and it's like, okay, now my batteries are being taken.
Yeah,
Golden Fox is an extrovert.
I dare
really?
To say that because he appears a lot more quieter in public.
Here's the thing, though. If you've seen him at a con, the only time he goes to recharge is when his camera battery is low.
Yeah, to literally
like the
recharge.
Physical camera battery. Yeah. He's always on, and it's also, I think, why he loves streaming and everything so much, and why when he live streams, he has like 10 people in the fucking live stream call, which I don't understand. If I had more than 3 voices playing in my head, I would go nuts. There's a reason I don't go to most people's birthday party like Skype calls, is because I literally can't handle 15 voices talking at once.
But yeah.
May I offer a tangent real fast? I'm curious. I want to pick y'all's brains about this. So,
Sure.
when you all were young, growing up, let's say 5, 6, 7, whatever, did you ever leverage birthdays with yours or your friends to get favors? Like, buddy, did I come to my birthday? You're not getting a goodie bag, all right? And it was a kick-ass goodie bag, so like you're off the list. Did you guys ever do that?
I don't.
That implies that I had birthday parties with people.
And I believe.
Oh no! Oh no!
No. Let Max answer first.
Yeah, but on my end, it was more like with, especially at this very young age, that basically the parents were like organizing, they were like in charge and organizing it. So I couldn't even. They even got me to invite certain kids from class, so I didn't have this leverage as a child.
No, here's the thing. I don't know. Maybe it's a. Do any Italians watch this show? Please follow me. I can't be alone. But
you Italians.
From the time.
Hey, sorry.
No, here's the thing. I have had many moments where I actually have caught myself doing this hand gesture. I talk with my hands. Anyone who's been around me can attest to that. I do.
Italians are so bombastic. Like I feel like I can walk past a table at a restaurant and be like, they're probably Italian, and most likely from the Northeast. Like
people have sensed that with me, and they're correct. But no. Just when I was a kid, birthday parties were kind of a family thing, so family would just come to your birthday. I always experienced that kind of going out to a birthday thing with other people in my family's birthdays. Like I think the first time I ever saw like an indoor arcade birthday, like whether it was Fun Zone or Chuck E. Cheese or whatever the fuck, was like my little cousin's birthday, who's graduated high school now, which makes
one thing about it.
Old.
Don't. It only gets worse.
But no, it was just a thing of like, we didn't really invite people from school and stuff. We just kind of had a birthday party with our family. My aunt made the birthday cake. We just kind of had presents, and people came for dinner and cake, and the parents would have coffee, and the kids would be in their room playing with the new toys that they got. It was a very familiar excursion.
Chrissy,
I think
I'm with you, by the way. I'm related. I completely relate, because I did like maybe 2 like actual parties with friends from school. Then I was like, I'm done with this shit. I'd rather just hang out with aunts and uncles and cousins and grandma and whatever. Like, family.
Honestly, the real time that I started having birthday parties that didn't have any family members there was probably my 19th birthday when when Golden and Lauren took me to go see Zootopia, and we went to dinner and stuff. And then it really kicked it into high gear when like my 20th birthday, I went to Germany to visit Max, and then that started the whole ping pong thing of, I'm either in Germany for my birthday or I'm out doing something fucking nuts. It's never in between, and I don't plan on ending that tradition. Coronavirus, go away by March.
I mean,
question.
If you look at
I have a question for both.
Right.
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. Mine's somewhat of a tangent, but related to travel. But continue, Max.
Oh, I was just about to say, like, I mean, going out and doing anything in March 2021 might count as something crazy.
So I want to formally apologize for all the dumb Americans who've ruined it for everybody else, because a lot of my family and friends have been very, like, done their altruistic duty of trying to, like, keep a low footprint or small footprint with all this stuff. But I'm like, who's not carrying their weight? Then I watch the news, I'm like, oh, it's them. Got it. But I digress. Question. All right. Max, when you came to America for the first time, and also when you come to visit Chrissy and Brett and whatever, like, what was the biggest culture shock to you?
Culture shock. I guess I go
That
for
Taco Bell wasn't what he remembered.
Oh yeah. I mean, here's the thing.
What? Go on.
There's a story there, and we'll say it after the actual culture shock.
Maybe, yeah, because I was once before in the 11th grade, so in 2001. Yes, actually, yeah, 2001 over
early
over,
2000s.
Over New Year, literally from 2000 to 2001 over New Year's. I was once in the US, but then for over a decade not. But yeah, so what was a culture shock when I came there? I'm not even sure if I had really that much of a culture shock because I'm consuming a lot of American culture through media, to the point where I'm nowadays sometimes better informed about American politics than German politics, which is always fun when my mom brings something up.
Another apology, by the way. I'm sorry.
But
we're like a soap opera that's real. The Truman Show is becoming more and more true every day.
I mean, there are certain smaller things that probably will come through me at a later point in time, but I mean, some aspects were maybe food. Or credit card usage that you can literally, because the first time I came over there, I already had a credit card, but I used it to run to ATMs and get cash all the time. And I at some point realized, you don't need cash in the US unless you're doing drug deals, but so far my connections have not come through. So I eventually realized it, and I stopped bringing any cash at all, going to any ATMs just with my credit card, like ding, getting a lollipop.
I remember that.
Getting a lollipop at a street vendor. Ding.
I remember that diner in Texas really loved you because you just had so many 20s, so you would tip like $20 bills, and they were like,
"This diner,
I like this boy."
This diner deserved
That diner was fucking great. I don't know if you ever I don't know if you ever went to Nightmare Nights or anything, Saber, but there's like that diner that's. There's a diner that was like a little ways down the way, and we went there every fucking day, and that owner loved me, like put his arms around my shoulder and was like, you and I are gonna get along. And the waitress was lovely, just saying, hit the table if you need anything. And I hit the table, and she came right out, and I was like, oh god, I didn't know that you meant it. But it was great. Maybe don't have a smoking section and we'd be hunky-dory, but no, I was going to say the Taco Bell thing was when Max came here to Texas for Nightmare Nights. It was the first time we met in person, and he kept talking about how he wanted to try Taco Bell again. He was like enamored with Taco Bell. So the first night we're there, for 2001, we walked to a Taco Bell that was like 5 blocks down. I have blisters on my feet, and we're walking to Taco Bell, and it's an empty fluorescent lit Taco Bell, and we're eating the Taco Bell in the fucking
like dripping out.
And it's really cheesy and gross, and he's just like, this isn't what I. And so we walked back in basically silence on the way back, and
16
and
years,
sat, and,
16 years of anticipation. Destroyed.
And no, the best part of this story is that we ended it by we just kind of sat on our bed and watched the fucking like third presidential debate between Clinton and Trump, and with our stomachs full of disappointment. I have blisters on the bottom of my feet. This was such a shit show of a night, but goddamn if it's not funny. Anyways,
yes.
With all these tangents, I guess we've gone through Saber's
week, kind of.
But Max, did you have anything go on? Did you do your weekly leaving the house?
Yes, I did my one weekly leaving the house. I went to the office. Dum dum.
Really?
Dum. Yes. So the thing was, we as a small team were like, okay, let's go back to the office. Actually, meet in person. Those Google Hangouts, as fun as they are, not. Just being as a team in person. Maybe even having a whiteboard. It was Bart, so my team chef team lead, is like super into going and doing. He's the whiteboard guy. He's like, when people just start
he's
talking,
the Goodwill Hunting guy, writing the equations on the board.
Yeah,
I love whiteboards. I'm right there with you.
You and Bart would get along.
Wait, hold on.
Oh no, more whiteboards. And yeah, we had our and he's missing whiteboards. The talking in calls, as good as it is, it's still like with slight delays, and so it's something else. And being in person is still something
Whiteboard,
else.
you say?
Whiteboard, indeed. What's going on?
All my painting concepts are on this thing.
Is this safe for work?
There's no real boob. There's just the implication of an ass.
Did somebody say furry?
Well, there, fine. I'll cover it up. There you see nothing.
Oh.
But
wait.
I mean, besides that, I keep this by my desk every day. You guys use whiteboards. I use true clipboards with checklists.
Here we have a little bit of classic side boob.
Yeah,
And
classic side boob.
That's the worst that I have behind me visible right now.
Oh no, can I hang this?
But yeah,
anyways.
But yeah, weather nice, back to the office. So obviously I wanted to go there by bike. I'm procrastinating checking my bike until Tuesday evening.
Did it break again?
No, but it has been resting since last winter, so it has been 3/4 year. It was not standing in the basement, so obviously no more pressure on the tires, but I'm like, I have a pump, no problem. The pump of my old bike, which does not fit the new valves. No problem.
Wait, you didn't think of buying a new pump when you bought a new bike?
No idea why this. In hindsight, I also was like, how could I miss that? But yeah, I was like,
that's a new level of dumbass.
It truly is. But I was like, no problem. I have gone to gas stations before, because in Germany you still get free air for free at gas stations, and I have recharged my tires there before. So. Tires, I just ran up, grabbed my headphones, I even forgot my mask and my wallet, so that was kind of like, I felt not very self-conscious on my way there. But yeah, to the gas station, air pump, shit, this doesn't look like it's fit on my valve. Okay, never mind, there's another one right next door. Other one, this is the same shitty valve. Plug, whatever.
No wonder it's free.
No, with my old bike, this fit, but not with the new one. Down the street, 5 minutes to the Kentucky Fried Chicken gas station. There. No, it's the same one. I'm like, okay.
You walk that far for bike tires?
I have only started walking because I was like, okay, bike shops have free air pumps on the outside. Let's go to the bike shop at 8 p.m. Past 8 p.m. So I walked all the way back to the main station, to the train station, where there is this bike rental around the corner. So like 10-15 minutes. Where is the air pump? Apparently they take it inside overnight. Okay, I walked this.
No shit, Sherlock.
Okay, I walked this far. There's another bike shop. Tuck, 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 tuck. Another 10 minutes, all the way into the local city center. No station, no pump outside. Eventually, I gave up after 3/4 hour, returned home, and I'm like, hey, the good news, I got my workout today. The bad news, I'm taking the train to the office tomorrow.
Good job, buddy.
You did. But yeah, and so I went to the office. It was kind of like, because only 30 of our usually 100 people are allowed at the same time. You have to tell the organizers in advance that you're coming. So it was very sparse, very few people there. Our cafe is officially closed down because running a cafe within the office is currently not doable with the restrictions. So, yeah, we came in, we had, Bart got to write on a whiteboard, we had our meetings. It was a weird feeling because, yeah, it felt at the same time familiar because it's the office where I have spent the last 6 years of my life. On the other, okay, not the entire time, but you get what I mean. On the other hand,
it's your job. You spend a good portion of your day, 5 days a week.
Exactly, and I do like my job and my office, so it's not that I'm like, oh, what a drag, I'm back in the office. No, on the one hand, like, familiar, nice, and so on, but on the other hand, like, only a handful of people in the entire space, like all this ghost town feel to it. Half the tables closed off.
It's creepy.
Yeah, it has something creepy to it.
I've been told that like humans are very much so creatures of like atmosphere and of settings, where not everybody, but like, I mean, I personally kind of miss an office setting. I work from home, which is, you know, guys, it's ups and downs. Ups as in I don't have to do with traffic. I can, you know, I don't have to pay rent once and that's it. Versus like going to an office where I walk in through a door and it's like, no, it is work mode and I have my work environment and I'm now in a mode. It's like flipping a switch on your brain where you're like, okay, let's get some shit done. But now it's like when you work from a home office, it's like, where does work end and then fun begin? Or does it kind of mesh over and you're like, ugh, what's going on?
Especially with your earlier statement about not having vacations, in all honesty, I can only recommend to find some way to separate it. To either have a separate computer, which is officially a work computer or something, because...
I've been thinking about that. That's smart.
Yeah.
My tax guy told me about that, because good old Trumpet, he was like, one, you can count your computer as part of your office space, so tax money. Second of all, he was just like, it's just a better way to separate. And I'm like, yeah, but with most with most games and stuff that I would do for leisure nowadays, a normal bot computer you buy at Best Buy will not cut it, and I don't feel like investing my own pocket money in a computer that would play games as well as I wanted to, because this baby was paid for by DA Games.
Your work computer. Yeah, for that is sure trickier to figure out, but yeah, for example, Jesse Cox also, he got mental problems because he didn't have the separation, and he now rents an actual office where he goes to work, even though he has everything at home that he needs, just to get this mental separation between work and not work. And so far,
I respect that.
Yeah,
I respect that. That some folks need that. I wonder if I'm one of those people, because like I for the last, I'd say 5 days, I've started my workday at 8 and I don't stop until 9 p.m. And it's not, that's not me being like, wow, Saberspark, you work so hard, as much as I don't know when to stop and I don't know when to have fun. Like I have to go downstairs to the living room and play solitaire just so I can step away.
Yeah.
And also like going to my garage to lift weights and go for runs outside. Like
it's important.
There's that. I miss the gym too. I miss it, man.
Oh yeah. Tell me about
Don't get me started. Don't get me started. I need the gym. I need to go back to my. I need my dude. Here's the thing. Not only was the gym great for my fucking mental health, because if I ever felt like, oh, here comes good old Papa depression and Mama bipolar disorder, I would just go to the gym and lift some fucking weights and pump some iron, and I would be like, energy expunged. But no, I can't do that. And also, most of my stories that I would tell during my week were weird adventures at the gym, because the gym just attracts weird people, me included. Yeah. So it's just like, what the fuck am I gonna do? I mean, me and Lauren have been doing a workout thing together, but last week we had to take a break off because I have stories to tell when it comes to what have happened to my poor feet over the past 5 days. But, yeah, it involves a toothpick. Let me just give you a little...
Wait, we already had the gruesome story last week. You kept doing
stuff
to your feet.
No, last week... Well, first of all, do you still have more about your week to tell? I'm not going to derail you.
I mean, it was an interesting derailing, so all good. No, but yeah, it was interesting to be back in the office. We agreed as a team, like, hey, this was fine, and we have a release upcoming, so we will meet at least as a small team again next Thursday in the office. And I have my bike prepared. Yesterday morning, I woke up very surprisingly early, and I already had breakfast and everything, and so once Denim woke up as well and got her breakfast, I was like, I am out. I am doing the bike thing right now.
Do the bike thing.
So, and I did the bike thing, and I also went, while I got there and got air for my tires, I also was like, you good sir at the bike shop, do you sell the pump to take us with me for the pumping on the way? And I also bought a hand pump that hopefully, I haven't tested yet, but he was like, that fits on every valve. And I'm like, okay, I take your word for it.
Every valve.
I still have the receipt, probably. I still have the receipt, so yeah. But yeah, the fun thing is, so now that I have a functioning bike again, we started bike lessons.
Bike lessons?
Bike lessons, because Denim has not sat on a bike in, what, 2 decades or something?
But when you ride a bike, you never forget. That's the whole rhyme.
Yes, exactly. That was what she saw too, and she had to learn the hard way that some
I say this, but I haven't been on a bike in close to like half a decade, so I don't know what's going to happen if I sit on one.
It's a lie. It's a lie, says the chat. Says Denim. Yeah, but yeah, so especially since in Berlin it's so useful to be able to get around by bike. We are trying to invoke the saying that the bike riding memories come back. And but for now, it's just fun practice lessons up and down the walkway right in front of the house. But yeah, that was a highlight on my end.
So I guess I'll talk about mine while Saber just inexplicably is walking off screen for a bit.
Yep, there he is.
So my week wasn't super interesting. I did get out of the house.
Always a good start.
I went to go see Lauren, the Abbey Roadie.
Who is in
we
the
had a
chat,
very chill.
or at least was earlier. Oh, no,
she is. But it was a very chill little excursion. We got some Asian food. I had pad thai, which is and fried banana, which I missed so much. And we did a movie night. Originally we were gonna do 2, but then we had to go on an adventure to like Home Depot or some shit to get a fucking bee repellent. Because apparently there's bees around her backyard.
Abby already spoiled the highlight of your trip.
Thank you, Lauren. Way to get to the point. So I've gotten Lauren into Lupin the Third recently. She's been watching a lot of Part 2, which is the show, the show from the 80s. And I was like, have you ever seen Castle of Cagliostro? Which is what most people have seen, whether they know it was specifically Lupin or not, because that was Miyazaki's like first directing excursion. I saw what that was.
Did somebody say Lupin?
Why? What? And here's the thing: no one's gonna understand why this angers me so much. Oh, he's giving Lammy a kiss.
Aww.
Good, wholesome pet having. Yeah. But no,
Alright, I haven't even noticed the dog in the background.
Yeah, it's Lammy, the star of the show.
Yeah, but he's hidden.
I'm back.
How dare you? I only now realized you are constantly hiding the pupper.
Oh, Lammy?
Pupper! Yeah, Lammy's the true star of the show.
I love him.
But no, fucking, she's never seen Castle of Cagliostro, so I was like, well, we gotta fix that because it's on Netflix. And we watched it, and she was affixed to it. And, you know, Lauren is someone I could watch movies with because she doesn't mind when I spout trivia sometimes during the movie. Trust me, I have friends who don't like that.
Isn't Lauren Abbey Road, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Abbey Roadie. You've met her. She's the happy short one who's somehow yeah. But no, she really loved it. Oh yeah, she's a fantastic artist. But she had a great time watching it. She apparently cannot stop thinking about the death scene in that movie, which is pretty brutal. It involves 2 clock tower hands and a person in between.
Oops.
But no, I recommend anyone who hasn't seen it to watch it, because even if you have it, first of all, it epitomizes how accessible Lupin is, because Lupin's such an episodic, kind of formulaic thing. You can watch Cagliostro without any... Why do you have the Photoshop file up now? You said you wouldn't wear that tie.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you wanted to explain. So yes, this is...
I will explain it. I will explain it in a second. Yes. I'm talking.
Yeah, I just put it there. Anyways, yes.
But no, the thing is that the thing is that it's so accessible because you can just go right into it without you can have not seen any Lupin thing before and watch it and get an enjoyment out of it. And it also radiates a lot of Miyazaki movie vibes. You know the ones. And it's a really good movie. And Lauren loved it, and that made me happy. And but besides that, I had my foot punctured this week.
What happened?
Why do you hate your feet so much?
I don't... Look, here's the thing. I don't hate my feet. My feet apparently hate me, or the entire world hates my feet. Maybe I showed them on Twitch once, and this is Twitch banning me from the heavens. No, so I keep a box of toothpicks at my desk because I chew toothpicks out of stress. It's a way to stop me from biting my nails, which I have failed at because 3 of my nails have been bitten. Because I scraped off the nail polish and bit them. I I was having a day.
I
But
bought
no,
my
there
nails
was
too, actually. That's something I do as well. I don't know if it's an ADD thing or not, but like I bite them like every so often. I'll be like, oh yeah, nails. It's weird. So,
but no, so
you're not alone.
I sometimes just have bits of toothpick around, but usually I chew them up so they're basically like wood shavings. But I had a piece that was like this, so half of it was cut off. I was on the phone earlier this week and I was really angry. And so I kicked my foot in frustration. You know what I kicked into? I punctured not the foot that had the toenail ripped off, but the other foot. So I had 2 feet just incapacitated. And I was already angry. So I didn't feel the fact I had a toothpick in my foot, and I was just like, oh shit, toothpick's in my foot, and pulled it out. And I didn't notice the pain until the next day when half of my foot was swollen. But like, so yeah, I couldn't do my workout this week because I just didn't have any working feet.
Ow.
Oh, I have angered Odie, and I feel like I have disgusted Max.
That's one of the worst things is when like you actually like put yourself out of commission, you can't work anymore or work out. It's like, well, shit.
What do I do? Exactly.
Happened to me where I did some like squats with my friends like a week or so ago, and I haven't done squats in a while, and I afterwards couldn't even walk up my stairs. Well, I walked up my stairs, but it hurt a lot. And I'm like, I can't run right now. I can't run for the next 4 or 5 days. So it's kind of
it sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, but I was just like limping in my house with a hobble for like the first few days because the other foot was starting to heal of the toenail thing, but then now I had this thing, so I was walking like Cotton Hill from King of the Hill, just like I had no kneecaps, and it was
get him in.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck you, Enigma. What? So I had the other big event is that I finished Battle for Bikini Bottom this week. And, I have my little donation bar that says why not money and stuff. And I made the joke because my friend Lizzie really loves Sonic Adventure 2. But I don't. I think it's a broken game. And I said, sure, if I get this much money in the bar, I'll play Sonic Adventure 2. Guess who got that bar hit? And I was like, fine, you know what? Let's just go further. If I fill up the entire bar and over, I'll do a 2-hour stream of getting over it with Bennett Foddy, because we all know how much Chrissy likes rage games. And guess who got that to happen?
Enigma to the rescue.
Yes! And I can't, it's that conundrum of, how do I get mad at someone who gave me money?
Oof.
How do I get mad at that?
Whenever I feel bad about that, where folks are like, there was a moment where I actually did like, hey, I'll review this movie if you give this much money on Patreon. I did that like 3 or 4 times, and then I started feeling like a little bit dirty, where I'm like, I'm selling myself. And
I don't feel dirty.
Well, it's nothing wrong at all for folks who do money to do shit. That's fine. That's not a slight at sex workers or any kind of worker at all. You get that bag. But for me, I'm like, it puts me in a position where I realize some of these suggestions weren't good, and I'm like, this is kind of compromising my own like view on things, because it's like things where I'm like, it's not that it's either give me something that's really good or bad or weird or something, versus it's just meh, and I'm like, that's boring for everybody else. So I don't know. I'm like, I'm gonna get rid of that option. I'm gonna get rid of it. Bye.
Yeah, I get that, but no, I just was like, well, fuck. I mean, this week I also released the first highlight reel that Wolf had edited of the cursed Sonic games, and people seem to enjoy me in pain, so I guess we're going to have fun. But no, my week's been generally that. So I guess more events than I thought there was, but as much events as you can say is happening.
Yeah. But since we just talked about working out, perfect segue into my media.
Oh, shit. I just ripped my shirt by flexing, actually.
Seriously? That is impressive.
Hell yeah. Oh my god. You can't
Somebody-
script this shit, folks.
Somebody ate their spinach.
Ooh, yeah. I ripped my. Just say it again. This should come for.
Just rip it completely. Let's get shirtless Saber going. Woo!
Yeah.
Oh my god. Stop. Stop. Oh my god.
Yeah, I ripped my shirt off, my flex thing. Yeah, here's my new shirt with my new. It's like a. Wow.
It's like a.
I mean, it's a nice summer.
Saber!
It's a nice summer shirt. I mean, if you.
Where's Jack? Where's Jax when we need him? He could be
I'm gonna wear my new.
Don't cut
sleeveless
yourself, please. Please
I'll be
don't cut
fine.
yourself.
Oh great, we get to see your pit hair.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's my new sleeveless collared shirt. Enjoy.
I mean, cool, man. That's wow. I hope someone clips that. That's great. But no. So you're Media Max. Are you
Yes.
going to? Yeah, you. I have a feeling what it is, but go ahead.
Yes, so finally, after revisiting it today once more, I am finally ready to talk about Ring Fit Adventure as my media.
I love Ring Fit. Holy crap! Are you enjoying it?
Yes and no. Being the notorious nitpicker and grumpy old man, I have a leaning towards being more focused on the critical aspect, but then again, I still have this game and I still play it. But it comes with a few red flags that I would feel like sharing when I talk about this game. So I recall when I first saw this, I was like, wow, this is like awesome. This is gamification of workout. This is especially in the current time, the thing. This is like, yes, please.
Apparently, it got really hard to find Ring Fits, and they were like scalped on eBay to like stupid prices.
Okay, Germany, Amazon, 1 Ring Fit, please. And I had it.
Yeah, lucky bastard. Just and as a
America's
bastard,
like,
I could say that.
But yeah, so I started playing. We both, Dan and I, started playing it basically as a buddy system. So I just did Ring Fit. You better do it now. Okay, I do it now. So that helped the workout a lot until summer hit, and
Are you cutting the other sleeve?
I mean, it's essentially fucked. I'm sorry. I don't want to derail Mac. I want to hear what you have to say.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yes.
Sorry,
So-
my eyes just.
But yeah, some things that I noticed that I mean, at the end of the day, it is what I just described. It's a gamification of workout, which is good because often enough, overcoming your inner pig dog, innerer Schweinehund, as the German would say, which is basically this urge to hold you back and your laziness, your inner like workout. I should work
Sloth.
out, but exactly your inner sloth. And look at this man with his sexy vest shirt.
I've never had a sleeveless. Oh, it's just split down the middle. Oh my god.
Hell yeah! Give us those muscle tees, boy.
I'm gonna wear this when I work out next.
Nice.
Oh, you better take a picture
Nice.
as proof. You can't.
I mean, I'm lifting weights
But
later
no.
today, so I'll do that. Okay.
Anyway,
But no,
so
so-
yes. So
Yeah, but yeah.
Right, I'm sorry.
it is what it says on the cover. A few things. So as you level up, because they give it a little bit of a RPG aspect. So as you level up, you unlock new moves you can do. It's kind of separated into into arms, legs, core, and yoga. I believe. Yeah, those are the 4.
Yeah.
The problem really is, one problem that I noticed early on that maybe in the very late game gets kind of resolved, but it was like you got a new move and you always equip it because it's always stronger than the previous one. So there is no like, yeah, of course I keep you. And then at the end, after you end your session, the program is like, hey, you made 300 of those. And I'm like, yeah, of course I made 300 of those because it was my objectively strongest move. I had to do it over and over in every single battle. Oh yeah, you get to
That's
battle.
a very good point.
Yeah.
That's a very
It's
good
a very
point.
RPG thing. It's
Yeah.
very on brand.
But that yeah. And then another thing that's there from the beginning where I have to say like, so you have this, as at least every critique I give is about the adventure mode. I know this game has other modes. I saw them in the options. I never played them. I only played the adventure campaign. So if anybody is like, well, if you are bothered by this, just play the customized workout. Fair point. I didn't do it. I bought it because I need gamification in my workout to do it. So the next thing is like, who out there knows what's the best part of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time? What is the best part? Huh?
I don't know.
Huh? Hey, listen. Hey.
Oh, they have a Navi?
They have a fucking Navi in this game. Your ring does never stop talking. Even when you keep following this big demon you want to defeat, and when you encounter the demon, when the demon talks, it's like, and you have an entire text box. Then you have Ring, which is the name of this game's Navi, like fully voiced over in her squeaky voice, her text bubble, her reply. Like, he replies again. And it's like, oh. So yeah, you have to build a certain resistance against Navi because, oh, your sweat is so shiny and beautiful. And
I can't, nope. I nope out of that. I will just do Chloe Ting workouts. Thank you very much. Because I could scream at her and she doesn't talk back.
Fair. And every single, and then you do repetition. And like you do sit and it's like, yes, great, super, yes, you can do it for every single repetition. I'm like, Arr!
I wonder if anyone's R34 at this thing.
But yeah, this is something you just should be aware of. I mean, maybe somebody please tell me if you can turn the voiceover for Ring off completely, then this would already be a great thing. What did you find? What did you please share?
I Google searched Ring Fit Adventure R34, and the first thing that come up is a Reddit post from the Ring Fit Adventure subreddit saying, "Please stop complimenting my sweat."
But yeah. So yeah, those are the two.
Ring Fit. You got the WeChat going like first time kid.
Oh god.
But yeah, and one final aspect I have to say about it on the more critical end of things, it's like, so I try to get back into a proper workout, and while previously Denim and I had a very nicely aligned daily routine because her German school started at a similar time my work started, this is not the case anymore, so we have kind of more asynchronized days, so our regular Ring Fit sessions kind of fizzled out. But I was like, okay, I need to keep workout in my daily routine, so I wanted to do Ring Fit in the morning before work. Ring Fit is fucking insufficient. It's like for 20 hours of actual, 20 minutes of actual workout.
To say how hard you
I was about to say 20 hours. What are you doing? Marathon running? Like
no, for 20 minutes of actual workout, because it has a little clock in the corner which tells you how much time you have actually worked out. You need to bring at least like 45 minutes for it, like with the prep, with then the warm-up, then the story in between, because you have always a story and dialogue in between. You cannot just go from exercise to exercise, which is, on the one hand, gamification, that's the shadow side of it.
I would not.
Yeah, but
No. I'm giving it a point of view from someone who also does regular workouts because I've been thinking about getting a Ring Fit because I do have a Switch, but like I can't do the gamification. I am someone who works primarily with strength training and high intensity interval training, HIIT. And that is basically, you are going from one thing to another. There is no stop. There's maybe a minute rest in between. So unless those story segments are like 30 seconds long to indicate your rest time, I don't see the point of it. Your muscles would relax too much. Yep. You wouldn't get those true gains that you need. This isn't real exercise. I mean, it's exercise in the sense of exercise, but this isn't real workout. You're not going to get the gains. You're not going to look like them.
It's already cardio heavy. But yeah, so after a week or so getting angry every morning, I basically resigned to being like, okay, I do Ring Fit on the weekend when I don't have a time pressure like I need to be done by then so I can be ready for work at time with a shower and everything in between. So now I actually do it more on the weekends, and on the weekends it's fun and fine again. So I do it without any time pressure.
Do it if you have free time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. So I would say you have to do it for free time. Plus the critique that I brought before, like you have to be Navi resistant, and it's like weird that you basically always, especially in the early game, have to replace any new exercise you get instantly into your roster of exercises you can use for attacks, because they are just objectively stronger. If you cannot really do a planned workout. It seems to be better in the late game because right now I have two very strong app exercises that I have always as ongoing attacks, and I unlocked them in a special ability in a talent tree. This game has a talent tree.
Ooh, nice. I'm just laughing at Lauren bringing up Mousercise, the Mickey Mouse exercise regimen that used to be out in, like, what was it, Lauren, the 90s or the 2000s? Because that's great.
Also, there's some strong clipping going on. I assume the first one is potentially about your reaction to Shiny Sweat. And then we have
no,
a
that's
Saber.
Strong Saber.
Yeah, that's the second one. The first one is
Keyframe. But no, Max, at least think about at least think about this. You can avoid once, at least with this whole thing of the moves changing and you're constantly using it. At least that way you get past the lunge exercises quick enough. Because lunges are the devil, and we all agree with that. We don't respect lunges in this house.
So, but yeah, this was my media. We are already almost an hour in.
Yeah, so why doesn't Saber go next? Because mine's less of a media and more of a discussion topic. I didn't bring an actual media today.
Would you all be against me getting another shirt on? Because it's starting to rub my skin the wrong way.
You can go do that. We'll take a little break. And make sure to have your chair. Wait, position your chair so Lammy can be seen.
Oh, he did hear us. Oh, okay, he did hear us. Yay, Doggo Cat.
Yay, Lammy! Okay, we're going to interview Lammy now. So, what questions do you ask a dog? Lammy, what's it like being the controller of one of the most popular cartoon reviewers on the planet?
Oh no, I hit him!
Oh! Let's see. Lammy, what's your opinion on boiled chicken? Fascinating. Who are you going to support in this next presidential election?
Oh, I mean, between those two choices, third party? Yeah. Is there any way?
Yeah,
how about, Lammy, how about becoming a candidate yourself? That would solve all problems. Everybody would
Lammy 2020.
Yes, everybody
Who wouldn't support that?
My palm like this. And just like do that. Yeah, he'll put his hand in my palm. He's gonna be 16 this year.
Oh, old boy.
It occurred to me, he'd be turning the same age that I was when I first got him.
Aww.
Oh, wholesome.
I love him so much.
He's a good boy. Lammy 2020. Let's all vote for Lammy. Except don't if you could actually vote. Please don't Harambe this. We don't need that.
He's a good boy.
We were just talking about how your dog should be president.
Exactly. I mean, with the current two choices, a dog can only do a better job. Anyways, let's not talk politics. Let's talk media. If and what did you bring for class, Saber?
So, what have you watched or read or listened to recently? I mean, we know what you've read recently.
I mean, you can talk about that if you feel like it.
So I watched a bunch of VeggieTale episodes recently. I've been watching that. It goes to show you that like the original batch of VeggieTale episodes from like the 90s and the early 2000s were really good. Because I was like going into it.
Were those the ones you were watching, or were you watching like the Netflix adaptation no one liked, or?
No, those are the recent ones. The ones I was watching a few days ago. Those are the original. That's the original batch of like the first few episodes, and so the first few episodes, like the first 30 or so, kind of scattered, where it's like it came from big idea productions, but it's not like I don't know.
Did I get the right one?
What's up?
Oh, that's I think that's the Netflix one.
Shit.
Yeah, that's the reboot. No, he has a visual aid up.
Oh, I see.
No.
It. That's VeggieTales in the house.
This looks like the right one, right? Is this the right one?
I think that's the right one.
Okay, let's open this one. There we go.
That's probably VeggieTales in the city. I think that's what that
damn
is.
it.
Why are there so many VeggieTales?
It's not your fault. It's not anybody's fault except for the big companies who are like, let's make some money. Because like there's the original run, it failed. They sold it off to some Nashville company that was then bought by DreamWorks and then was bought by Netflix. And something to do with NBC as well, where they where NBC was like, we can't have God in our stuff. We're just straight up secular, which I understand. They bought it. It's their money. They can decide what they want to do. So yeah, it's there's been quite the road for VeggieTales. But watching the old episodes, I'm like, this is a good show. Like even if you aren't like a religious person or Christian or whatever, there's still moments where it's like, that's funny, or oh, that's entertaining at least. So I appreciate that. I'm making my way through it right now, and I'm waiting for the moment where it's like, oh, okay, we're peaking, and we're going down.
And it's turning into a salad.
And I guess you, for anybody who wants to have your in-depth thought about it, subscribing to your channel and staying tuned.
Yeah, comes up not this coming Friday, but the next Friday.
I have a weird experience with VeggieTales because everyone I grew up around saw VeggieTales as a kid. Because, like, I never grew up with VeggieTales. My family just never got as Catholic as my mother's side was. We never got into, like, Christian media or anything like that. It didn't play at Wednesday school. Yes, that's a thing. Where for preparation for your communion, you would go to Wednesday school. Ugh. But, but when I moved to the Midwest and that Southern Bible Baptist belt shit, everyone saw VeggieTales. Everyone knew VeggieTales. I went to like this summer camp thing for like a few weeks back when I was like maybe 12, 13, whatever. And, in the morning mass, they would have stuff playing on the projector screen of different music videos and stuff. And it would mostly be VeggieTales or like some Christian rock. Every Christian rock sounds like a hymn or like a sermon set to like Kevin MacLeod copyright free music. And I love that. Inexplicably enough, one time they played that like viral video from like 2000. Yeah, Tunuk. They played that, and I'm like, that seems like the opposite of Christian. But no, I've had VeggieTales like in my atmosphere for such a long time in my life, and I know so many people that grew up with it and cite it as like a good Christian cartoon and stuff, but I never got into it. It's one of those things where it's like where everyone knows it, but you don't, and you're just staring like, why do people like you, cucumber and tomato?
So I can probably.
Are you delicious?
This.
What?
Germany, VeggieTales, not a thing at all. Never heard of them, never grew up with them. So my first contact with VeggieTales, period.
Is today?
No. The parody in Drawn Together.
Yeah. Oh my god!
This was my first
satire.
Yeah, that was my first impression of VeggieTales. And then I found out, wait, this is a parody of something specific, isn't it? So yeah.
My first exposure to VeggieTales without me knowing it was the Fruit Pals or something from Aqua Teen Hunger Force that David Cross and Kristen Schaal played, like the talking banana with the monkey hands, and who really wanted to drink scotch out of the fucking drain pipe. Aqua Teen is a great show.
Simpsons did that too. Passion of the Salad or something like that. I don't know, where Bob the tomato was carrying across and getting whipped by Roman like vegetables. So yeah, there was no shortage of like satire of VeggieTales, because like the entire notion of Christian vegetables is like, it's funny. So like, and I applaud Phil Fisher for like being a good sport. Where like I read his book. I read his goddamn book. Let me find it.
That's such a Lemmy
for president.
For president.
I read Phil's book, and Phil even emailed me because he was like, "Hey, I heard that you were doing a video. If you have any questions, hit me up." And I'm like, "Hey,
What a
I
cool
appreciate."
dude.
I mean, I appreciate creators who aren't like, "How dare you?" Because Phil's very transparent in his book, where he's like, "It was my fault." I'm like, that's takes a lot of humility to like actually admit it, because it was his fault. It was. His eyes were bigger than his stomach, and it was a good read. I mean, I highlighted a ton of stuff in here where it's like combination of bankruptcy, lawsuits, just massive overhead with the cost of their studio, with their executives, the higher ups paying. They paid more for animators than Disney and DreamWorks paid for their animators, because they wanted to be appealing, to be like, look at us. We're a big idea. Come to us. We'll pay you better than those other guys, and which is appealing.
Yeah.
But it only lasted for so long until they're like, we can't pay you that much, and the animators are like, well, we're going. So there's a lot of drama to it, where Big Idea had massive aspirations, massive, to be the next big thing, and they really thought they could do it. But the steps to get there kept like failing, where it's like, oh, our movie costs twice as much as we thought it would be. Oh, the executives we're hiring, they don't have our best interest in heart. They only see this as a product and not a ministry, which, to be fair, I understand. It's not like that they were inherently wrong by seeing it as a product or a service compared to a ministry, but it did create some kind of, like, it created a gap where Phil, the creator, couldn't really communicate properly with his heads. And it's a spectacular disaster. It's spectacular. I love it.
Would you recommend people the book?
Oh, absolutely.
Even if you're the name of it?
Me, Myself, and Bob. Me, Myself, and Bob, which is on Amazon. It's cheaper than Butch's book, and to be fair, to be fair, it's twice as long, much better of a story, and it's just truly the story of some guy who, like, Phil was a quiet, weird kid from a divorced family. Divorce is a very like big theme in the book, because he saw his parents' marriage fail, and he saw it as America was crumbling with its morals. It's morals. It's having a strong family and good strong belief in God. Because I recall the moment in the book where he said that he felt like he needed to launch a ministry was when he watched MTV for the first time, and he was like, "Oh, the battle for the immortal soul of America has begun now, and now is my time to launch Christian vegetables to save American children from sin." And I'm embellishing it, but Phil himself is like one of those Christians who's like, "Yeah, I believe in God. You can talk to me about God if you want to. I'm not going to push it hard on you. Take it or leave it." I think those are the best kinds of Christians or religious folks in general, where it's like, I'm here if you want to talk, but if you don't, I'm not going to push it on you. And I'm like, respect. I appreciate that. Separation of church and state. Let's keep it clean.
Yep.
But that all being said, for a book, spectacular rise, spectacular fall. It is insane. I do recommend it. The end.
Okay.
Veggie Tales. So I guess it's my turn.
Yes. So what is your topic?
I brought a topic for some discussion. I also thought that we wouldn't be going on this long. I've been working on a review of Scoob recently. Like, I've been writing the script and stuff. And the ending part of the review, I open up a question to the audience for a discussion. And I wanted to ask, has the fact we've been able to get movies now on streaming because, we can't go to the theater, affect how we critique them? Let me explain. I have a feeling that certain movie reviews, and Scoob is just one example, and I'm not saying it because some people thought it was mediocre and all that. You're entitled to your opinion. There were just some people that really, really got mad at it, and I don't understand the anger. But no, But no, I've seen this with other films too. I've seen it with other films that have gone on streaming recently, like Trolls World Tour and all that stuff. Do you think that because we get the film instantaneously, we're in our home, we have access to our social medias without any decorum stopping us from going on Twitter while we're watching the thing, that we don't have that time of rumination from us going into the theater, watching it, and leaving the theater? Do you think that affects how we critique the movie if our first impressions are a lot more impulsive than what they usually would be? Because I've been thinking about that a lot.
I mean,
because I don't state my first impressions on a movie until I watch it 3 times.
Well, Paleo mentioned something about how currently there's this section of folks who are like, Scoob isn't even really a movie because it wasn't released in a movie theater. Their first ever film. And I'm like, stupid.
Yeah.
It's a movie. A movie doesn't have to be released in a movie theater, especially under current conditions. But I don't know. As far as a viewing experience, it seems more like I'll put on streaming shit. And I'm like, I'll put this on while I do work. I'll put this on while I just chill and play solitaire. So going to a movie theater requires a bit more effort, which might put people in a mindset where they're like, I paid $20 for this. I am going to pay attention. I'm going to take away something from it. I'm going to think about it.
Related to the non-work differentiation that we talked about earlier, that mindset.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, that's what I was like thinking about, because I feel like, there's also that unintentional broadening of audiences when it's like put to streaming first and not to theaters first, in the sense of you're taking the effort to leave your house, put on pants in that order, and go see a movie. When it's just on streaming and you're like looking at Amazon Prime or Disney Plus or I don't know, CBS All Access to all 2 people who have that,
right?
You see it and it's like, well, I have nothing better to do. Just put it on. You have no vested interest in this thing in the first place. If you're going to a movie theater, you at least have enough vested interest to be like, okay, I want to go to the cinema. Okay, this trailer made me curious. I know the franchise that it's based off. If you're going with something like Scoob or Aladdin or Trolls or something that's based off an IP, you go for that reason. And it I don't know. It's been racking at my noodle because I personally I'm not saying that people don't pay attention when they're watching things. I don't want to say that. And people are entitled to their opinions and stuff. I know I've asked people this question and people are like, you're only saying that because you like Scoob and other people didn't. I'm like, no, that is not the reason. That's just it's just people's very, very extreme reactions on the first day that made me wonder. But this is a bigger, broader thing than Scooby-Doo. For once in my life, I could say that.
But it is different. It is definitely different. I mean, I could also imagine that aspects play into it, like, oh, now I have to pay like $20 for a video for a movie in a stream, where it's also like, yeah, but then again, you usually pay at least $20 for the theater experience, and you don't get to keep it for longer. So you only get to watch it once in the theater. So, but I can see that people have developed this kind of, in my point of view, unjustified, but this bias or this perspective, like, oh, I had to pay so much, so I'm extra critical, even though they would pay that much, if not more, for the cinema experience.
I just find it fascinating, since we're in the binge watching generation, that you think we would pay more attention when watching a film if it's on a streaming service, but we're willing to vest nearly like, okay, let's see, every episode of BoJack Horseman is 30 minutes and they have 13 episodes per season, so do that math. But not for an hour and a half long movie.
Yeah, but but then again, I mean, I also watched Hamilton on Disney Plus, and it was also like, 3 hours, like, and we were watching it from the couch at home, from the sofa at home, but it was like the mindset is a different one. It's
Because if you went to go to, like, I guess Hamilton is a great example. You'd be willing to sit through a musical sitting at the theater in your seat watching it. Yeah. But when it's in a home video presentation, which should be a good experience because now you have literally the best seat in the house, and you are like, sorry, someone's taking a shower, but no, like you have the best seat in the house, and you're getting an experience that you would have had to pay hundreds of dollars for. Mm-hmm. But yeah,
I mean, that was cool. I mean, it was cool seeing Hamilton, like, because it's not the original cast; they aren't doing it anymore. So it's cool to see it, like, at least recorded for the masses.
Mm. Yeah, I just find it interesting because I've noticed that we've had a trend recently with streaming service shows where they're releasing an episode weekly now instead of doing the whole Netflix dumpage. Central Park's been doing it, Lower Deck's doing it, Harley Quinn did it. That kind of thing.
I love Harley Quinn. Holy shit, I love Harley Quinn.
How far in are you? How far in are you?
It was just the episode where the shark guy was put in jail and they broke out. It was the episode where Commissioner Gordon was like, "I'm a good cop." Oh yeah. I love it. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. We are a little bit further down the road.
We're like 3 episodes off of the season 1 finale.
Yeah, it took a little bit of a dip, but I'm just hoping that it comes back because I so loved it as well. And they were like a little bit of a.
I have my own opinions on Harley Quinn's character compared to everyone else, but either way. But the point is, I feel like they release these weekly contents, and Central Park is my main example because that's the one that we were doing week by week by week by week. And it's just, I feel like with it being weekly content, I can appreciate it more as a show because I have something to sit down and wait for. And that's not to say that...
An event. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that's not to say that serialized content can't be in the Netflix dump and schlock. I mean, we've scientific term. We've seen that before. BoJack Horseman, I can't imagine it not being all in one go. I mean, except for like having it be one half of the season and the other half of the season. There's certain shows where I can imagine it has to be like that because at the end of the day, you can string them together like a movie. But that's with extreme serialized content. And I feel like with certain episodic shows, and it makes more sense to make it an event to watch it. Like stuff like Central Park, which does have it, and Harley Quinn, which has an overarching theme, but there's their own self-contained stuff inside each 30-minute niblet. And I guess the same can go for movies because it's one concentrated hour and a half of something. And if you're going to invest an hour and a half of your time in this day and age, you go to the effort to go see a theater. So I don't know if we need... I don't know, and I guess this is the subject for discussion that chat and when I release the Scoob review, people can discuss. Do we need to adjust how we watch the film at home or adjust how we critique things with the knowledge that our brains are not synced in the way that we are when we are in a movie theater? Is it fair to the movie itself that we are giving it this instantaneous reaction of such vitriol when we're not giving it the full all we would in a movie theater experience, which is what a film is made for? And because I feel like, especially with kids movies, let's put it like this, with kids movies, since we got Sponge on the Run coming out in Canada and shit next month, will it get the same like vitriolic reaction because we have it so instantaneously in our hands that we can live tweet through it and all this stuff, instead of when you go to a theater, you kind of see who the audience is for? Because I got that with Sonic the Hedgehog. Because there were adults, there were man-children like us there enjoying it because Sonic! But there were also kids and families and the knowledge that these are those kids' first exposure to this character. Which is what I wanted for Scoob, personally, because I think, that's a lot of kids' first exposure to Scooby-Doo, because the only Scooby-Doo thing that's come out in recent years is the Supernatural crossover, and a show that I think was only on Boomerang and Verve. So I think, that HBO Max that is going to kill that very softly and soonly. But, I feel like with that experience, seeing who it's there for, having the group reaction, I feel like we change our opinions or we gauge our expectations better than us alone in our room, sat in the way that we have the double chin with our drinks and sadness. We have a YouTube video playing also in the background because we can't focus on one thing at one. Exactly. Yeah. And I wanted to just talk about it because we are all people that like film. I feel like we appreciate film. I mean, we buy streaming services, we go watch things. Some of us do it for our jobs. And I wonder, because people keep saying that cinema is going to die and streaming will be that Prometheus of the new film industry. And that scares me. Not because I don't like change, but because I feel like there's a certain experience that will be lost and we take for granted the experience of something.
I don't think movies will die. I think it's, like you said, it's an experience that like is very unique that you can't get from your home because people can't have a big screen with big speakers like that. Like, especially
unless
with 4D.
You're rich.
Unless you're stupid rich, which is an exception.
But do you even go to the cinema when you are that stupid rich?
I mean, if you're in the movie,
no.
Let me bring my opera glasses. But no, I just wanted to spill the beans and talk about it. I felt like you guys would have some input. I'm sorry I took it over, but if you guys have any further thoughts on it before we move on to Q&A, I would love to hear.
Max, what do you think?
I mean, the funny thing is that I have myself not really encountered this question up until this point, so it's still a fresh thought for me, but with thinking about it, I can agree to the point. I mean, I already threw out a few thoughts throughout the discussion, like, yeah, I can see how it is differently, how it creates a different mindset in which you watch the movie. I know, for example, that I always keep noticing, like, oh, look, this Extraction, a Netflix original movie, has fucking Chris Hemsworth in it. I mean, Thor, one of the top tier actors of Hollywood, is also just in a direct to Netflix movie. So it is undeniable that streaming services like this become their own new instance.
Lemmy!
Sword to sword padding.
It's
okay. So yeah, they undeniably become a new instant, but I also do not believe that they can completely replace cinema.
Agreed.
Cinema will take a hit. I mean, even without COVID, it will take a hit. COVID probably exaggerates it in a very unpleasant way for cinema. It will take a hit, but I don't think it will disappear completely because it is a different experience. And the moment it becomes movies go back into cinema, I will go back there because I like this experience. I made it a thing to go to the cinema nearly every weekend last year. So yeah, that's my thought on it. I completely agree with the point you're raising. I'm not, and it's only logical to assume that the reviewing of movies also changes due to this casual at home from the sofa versus the commitment in the theater. It's something to keep an eye on and maybe to reflect for yourself that you don't fall into the trap of becoming this kind of it's just streaming. But
and I want to make it very clear. I do not think movies being put on streaming is inherently a bad thing. I feel like the art house films are thriving with a wondrous degree on Netflix. I mean, last year we had two of the 5 animated nominees for animated films were When I Lost My Body and Klaus. And I feel like and Irishman was also nominated for Best Film. There were so many Netflix movies that were on the spectrum of Academy nominations. And I think that's great because certain things about those films, because of the executive controlled media mindset, they would not make it to a wide release. And I do think that's good. But I also think, like, when we hear that something is a Netflix original and it's coming out, we have an automatic engagement to it compared to this film was meant to go to theaters and then went to Netflix. Also, and I just or how it goes most of the time, it goes to Amazon Prime or something first. It doesn't get licensed to a streaming service. So I'm saying I don't completely. I have a very nuanced point of view. I'm stating that. I know it just sounds like I'm an angry old curmudgeon. Movie theaters forever. Shut up. I had to explain to someone on stream one day what butt kiss means because I talk like an old lady. But like, butt kiss. People need to say butt kiss more. Butt kiss is a great word. But yeah, that's my media topic. So
and
thank you for indulging
me.
Or
final statement, Saber, if you have one. Before we
I don't see theaters going extinct. I don't. I think they're too unique of an experience that with what they offer, people can't build that in their homes. They can't. It has to be something done by companies to provide a calming public area where folks can go to and go in and enjoy it. I mean, yes, there are rich folks who have their home theaters, but even then, like, those big IMAX experiences, that's an experience. You can't really make that happen at your own home. So, like, when I saw Godzilla, King of Monsters at the 4D, like, feeling the chairs shake and hearing the sound, like, that was something I'm like, oh, I love that. That was fun. Which is why I think a lot of theaters have been like, we have to replace our seats, replace our sounds, make this more of an experience because that's our business angle moving forward because streaming services make it to where it's like, well, why should I go? Because we're offering something you can't get at your home. So
it's like going to a restaurant. You go to a restaurant because it cooks something the way you can't at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Good comparison.
But yeah, so thank you for indulging me. It's now lightning round or question time.
Yeah, 1.5 hours in and we are only now starting on question. Okay, let's start with a very easy, quick one from Twitter. Neil Make Things asks, my question is, does Saberspark want to go on a date with me?
Are you paying for the meal? Are you paying for everything?
Neil makes things. Neil makes things.
He makes things. He cook you dinner.
You heard the answer. Okay, next question. What has Discord to offer?
Okay, so let's see. From Chronic Lurker, if you were in a card game, what game would you be in, and what would be your ability? Can I be in Yu-Gi-Oh so I could be a cool holographic monster if we're going by anime rules?
Same. I'm with you. I want to be a hot anime girl. I'll be like,
you're gonna be Dark Magician Girl? Dark Magician. Can we get someone photoshopping Saber's face on Dark Magician Girl? I would love that. Thank you.
That's what I want. Yep.
And Karibo could be Lammy.
Lammy.
But there you go. So what about you?
Me.
Yeah, you're here too.
I want to be a peak 7 in a regular skat game. Because it's a number. I don't know.
You had so much time to think of the answer to this.
I want to be the grudgy face from A Overlord from one of the evil stare cards.
Oh,
This is my energy. And what is my ability, you ask? Well, my ability is obviously to kick your ass and make you lose the game if I stare too much at you. So that was easy.
You make people lose things when you stare at them too much anyway. So.
Exactly.
But there you go. That was the question. Yes, Twitter.
But I believe there was another one also about Yu-Gi-Oh! Pair Up. So I guess we can answer this in one swoop because the answer is probably...
You've never played Yu-Gi-Oh!
Exactly. I have never played Yu-Gi-Oh! So I guess you and Saber are now... the question goes to you and Saber. If you two want to pair up and dual match... who was it?
But I don't know if we know... If Saber knows these people.
He
I'll
knows
try.
Josh Scorcher.
Josh Scorcher...
And Ari.
And Ari, so his wife, or DeWilstonator and Eliora. These are people that maybe
I know them. Believe it or not, I'm not some like stupid guy who like thinks he's like divided against the world. Where it's like, oh, I want to participate in that. I go to these conventions and I'll watch the analysis opponents. I'll sit in the back where I'm like, I'm an observer, a quiet observer, but I'm observing.
I just barely know people to begin with, so I just didn't know if you knew.
Josh Scorcher and his wife are like what I would assume to be like the textbook youth pastor and wife couple who would be like, we're having a movie night. Here's some popcorn.
You're so correct. Only hangs out with their married friends. Like, it's disgusting.
They're happy.
No.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, fuck happy couples. No,
and then
yeah.
Will Stenator, I know his wife, kinda.
But
I
Ellie
know
is not his wife.
Ellie is not his wife. Ellie's just Ellie is just someone else.
I know. Ellie's she's the pyro in
Yes.
TF2.
Yeah, the
the
pyro.
red
Yeah, the
pyro.
pyro in TF2.
Wow, look at me.
I mean, yeah, you are actually in TF2 and Endless Anarchy by now, right? I forgot you. You are one of us now.
One of us. I love this table. I love this table. It makes such dramatic noises.
Can I make a real quick observation? Just completely. You've mentioned
Yes.
table, so okay. I try not to be a person of like tangible things, because tangible things are just like that. Who cares?
Yeah,
We all
you're not
die.
materialistic. Yeah.
Oblivion waits us all. But what I'm getting at is that, like, whenever I move into my next house or whatever that may be, I want a fancy desk, and I want a little alcohol table where I can sit in a fancy chair and be like, "Come in," like, and I can walk to my alcohol table and swirl my drink around all menacingly, being like, "But what if they
I
find out?"
very much hope that this alcohol table is a globe that you can open.
Yeah,
Yes!
I was about to
I
say,
have that
get one of
saved.
those globes.
I have that saved on my bookmarks, and I will buy it. I actually have a game plan for my office for my next place I move to, and I really want to have like.
You have an
I mean,
alcohol globe in your plans too?
I want Christy. I want an intimidating, fancy ass table desk, because my father has one in his home office, and I'm like, Dad, this is baller. This is intimidating as fuck. I didn't say fuck to him because my dad one time I was on it's so weird. My dad is like grew up hardcore frat, businessman. And I was on the phone with him like a month ago, and I'm like, we're talking about stocks, and I'm like, Jesus, that's really bad. And he goes, Steven, don't cuss. And I'm like, Jesus, what are you talking about? That's not a cuss. What are you fucking talking about?
He's been watching Veggie Tales, man.
I mean, if you think about it, invoking the name of the Lord and Savior is actually worse than saying fuck, which is just a word, if you really think about it. So anyways, but yeah, lightning rounding it up. Also, just you guys talk about your fancy desk alcohol dreams. I'm sitting here with my decanter and tumbler and drink tap water.
Hey, that decanter is fancy, and you know it.
It is, but that's the point. I have the fancy decanter. What do I do? Tap water. Anyways, Twitter. We have another one specifically for Saber. Hey, Saber, asks Kimberly, also Kimmy Booty.
Kimberly.
Has paneling at a furry con ever crossed your mind?
Yes, I've thought about this. So, I mean, cards on the table. I have nothing against furries at all. I mean, like with any fandom, with any group of people, you will have people who are like the detractors.
You are still in denial about yourself, but you like the community.
Like, honest to God, I have no problem if folks are like, "Say, are you furry?" I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like, I genuinely mean this. I don't know if I'm a furry or not. I've talked to Paleo about this, talked to my other friends about this, where it's like, because this isn't some dramatic bullshit I'm trying to like fan the flames and make it a big ordeal. I genuinely don't know. Because like I know I'm a light to furries. Like I recently, honest to God, I recently launched that Joshua in the Promised Land reanimation thing for application. I'd say at least 60% are furries who are applying. And
hell yeah, boy.
Of that 60% of applications, at least I'd say 70% of that, all of the applications for those feature little cats and dogs going on dramatic like adventures through forest and fighting each other.
Oh, like warrior cats and things like that.
That's exactly what Paleo said.
Oh no!
So here, can I show you all a shit post? Here, keep talking, Max. I'm gonna show you all a shit post.
I personally cannot stand Wait. I personally cannot stand this furry smut.
So
I was about to say, if you think about paneling at a furry convention, there's one me and Max go to that you would probably get along really well in, called Eurofurence. It's in a big old convention center. It's lovely.
I have nothing against furry cons. You guys know me. I do Bernie stuff. I still do. I think Bernie's shit was easier for me because that was like a passionate time of my life where I'm like, yeah, I want to belong to something big. I want to be part of this community. Back when I really had no community to be part of. Since I've now gotten a cut of that pie and also have grown as a brand of my own, I feel a lot more fulfilled. So as far as the siren call to join the furries and indulge myself in that fandom, I don't feel it as much because I feel satisfied, like content with what I have. That being said, I have nothing against furries. I have no problem being called a furry. I just genuinely don't know if I am a furry because I'm like, furries, I don't care. Making my own persona, I have no desire. I guess Pony worked because it had a lot more of a centralized, like, it's the show, it's the staff. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I mean, that's absolutely, as somebody who is a bit more immersed actively also, or at least used to in the furry community, yeah, that's a big difference. Often you have fandoms about a specific show, series, maybe even franchise, but yeah, furries is just fan of an idea. And you came from all corners together, which is like, yeah, you don't have to be into suits. I mean, I had once when I got more in and got a little bit of the hype of the community, I was like, maybe I get myself but also only a partial one because the entire one.
Where it's just like the paws and the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing. I am completely open to going to a furry con. I love weird shit. And furries are weird, Bernies are weird, Trekkies are weird. They're all weird, and I love
furries are a lot more cuddly, and I could say that for certain. I've had many moments where a fursuiter will just come up to me and put their hand on me, and I'm still in that phase of getting used to that. I just be like, oh hey, yeah.
But you know what? Yeah.
I get the Bernie conventions too. I mean, furries and Bernies have a lot of overlap though.
Yeah, obviously.
By the way, here's me where I go through like. This is me going through like 30 applications of furries and then like reopening my inbox and seeing like 70 more applications from furries show up within like the 10 minutes of me going through applications. Like that's just me where I'm like, shit, they're everywhere.
There's more.
We sure are.
But yeah,
into my inbox.
No,
like, oh,
I mean, obviously Euroferns 2020 got cancelled, but I have to see, maybe I can suggest you as a community guest for shits and giggles.
For 2021.
I would go.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm a Renaissance man. I love shit. I love doing things and trying new things. I am so up for it. I'll go.
But okay, next question. Never worry about being a furry. Thank you, Enigma. Great name. Ask Awkward for all three of you. What is a special cartoon episode that you remember or have watched that took an adult concept and did it proper justice? Example, special as in drug use, bullying, racism, etc. There's a million wonderful and wild ways to say no. I have my answer, so you guys can...
the sex in Steven Universe.
Oh, yeah. Fusion is not sex! I don't want to think about children doing it.
I need a mug. Changed my mind.
Is that just a can?
I don't
There's the racism episode of Static Shock where the white kid's dad was like, I don't want you hanging out with a black guy, and he's like, Dad, you're racist. I'm my best friend. That was a good episode. I liked it a lot. Static
Shock had a lot of good episodes. My pick is actually from the Extreme Ghostbusters. They did it was like their third episode, and keep in mind this was their not pilot episode because their first episode was a two-parter, and essentially there was a ghost or spirit haunting a synagogue, and people thought it was the spirit writing these terrible things on the wall because they were like, go back home and all this kind of stuff. Turns out it was actually just a racist group of kids, and the ghost was a golem, like a clay golem, which is meant to protect. And they were like, they're not the real monsters here, it's you. And it was actually kind of a bittersweet message because the kids didn't get arrested or anything like that. It was just it handled it in a really real and well done way. And given that the Extreme Ghostbusters was known for having a bit more grit to it than the real Ghostbusters or the actual Ghostbusters, I really respect that. And people don't talk about that episode enough. But people don't talk about the Extreme Ghostbusters enough. Fix that. It was just really good. And it was an example of, because the kid was like one of the Ghostbuster kids. I think even the wheelchair kid was friends with the kids that were doing the graffiti. And I think also that was just a really good concept, that no one in that show, and that show had a very diverse cast of characters, you know, people these days would probably view as, oh, these are all tokens or PC points or whatever. They were not free of sin. They would fuck up and do terrible things just as much as any other person, and I do like that there's not like, oh, the wheelchair kid is just so pure and innocent because his legs don't work. It's like, no, he can still be an asshole.
True story.
So that's mine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Saber already had it. I mean,
Saber picked his.
To maybe go with a more serious answer, even so I stick with Steven Universe, future at least. The handling of PTSD. You so rarely see an actual cartoon action hero go through PTSD. One of the things that I liked so much about the Time Loop trilogy, the MLP fanfiction, that actually after the fucked up mess that happened in the first book, Twilight had PTSD and needed to get over it, and it was not glanced over. It was took a turn for the serious. But yeah, but to stay with Steven Universe, where basically all of future is dedicated to it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that hospital episode. Holy shit!
But yeah.
Lightning round.
Lightning. Okay, I have a quick one from Brandon Croker. Once again to Saber. You have probably answered this in another video, but what is the origin of your awesome name? Elevator pitch. Where does the Saberspark come from?
I played World of Warcraft back in 2005. Saber Steve was taken. I thought, what if I called myself? No. Saber Steve was what I called myself. I want to call myself Scuba Steve. Saber Steve was available. Scuba Steve was taken. I was Saber Steve for 2 years. Then I changed my name to Backwash, and then I wanted to make a YouTube account in 2007. Saber Steve was taken. I thought, hey, I need a spark of inspiration. Saberspark. Boom. There you go.
Where does the Saber come from?
I thought Scuba Steve.
Okay.
Saber Steve. All right, there, why not?
Fair.
We could live in timelines where we have a 1 million sub YouTuber named Scuba Steve or Saber Steve.
Or hear me out. There was a moment where I called myself for a hot minute, for a week, Professor Pony. That was my name in 2011 for like a month. I was Professor Pony. I'm like, I'm Professor Pony at Equestria Daily Forums, and then I'm like, that's stupid. Because I went to upload my video Battle of the Brony in 2011, and I'm like, oh, I only have my Saberspark channel, and I'll upload it there. I'll call myself Saberspark. That's better. That's neutral. So
I mean, without denying that you would have made your channel as big and as successful as it is right now, even starting with a lot worse and more niche name, I guess that would have probably delayed you by quite a while to overcome that.
I mean,
rebranding.
he could have neutralized himself by calling him Professor P, and people could just be like,
that sounds horrible. Anyways,
it is.
More questions.
There's not a lot in the Discord this week,
I probably have only one left, I guess.
So do your Twitter one.
Yes, which is more specific to the current group of people. From Malgavio. Malgavio asked, for all, Zootopia, Beastar, and B&A all have some similar themes and ideas. Who did them better? Or, at least, which did you like better? I guess we should all try to keep it as spoiler-free as possible, especially since I haven't come around to B&A yet.
So yours is just between Beastars and Zootopia.
I mean, as long as you keep it vague enough, you can also obviously just say, like, B&A does good shit is best or whatever.
Beastars is the CG anime with the wolf and the rabbit.
Yes. Where
I don't know.
Where actual devouring is a topic, while in Zootopia the predators only attack the prey, and that's as bad as it gets. I mean, attempted murders aside.
As someone who's seen all three, I like Zootopia the most just because, well, it's a Disney movie, and I like the characters in it a lot. I mean, I'm Nick Trash, and I'm Judy Trash. But I will admit, with all the detractors of Zootopia, the fable is not handled well. Like, when you actually translate some stuff into reality, the predator and prey allegory does not translate that great. But I think out of all three of them, Beastars handles it the best. At least I think that's the most intriguing use of the allegory. And BNA has the best visual eye candy out of all of them. You can't beat Studio Trigger.
It's Studio Trigger, so
you can't beat Studio Trigger, and the characters are very endearing in BNA. I love the Mink Girl. Is that any surprise to anyone? I will make a cosplay of her, and she will be lovely.
I need now that there is a an actual dab icon of your persona, I need to include this in here so that you can also have the dab persona in your.
Yes, but no, but I think Zootopia is the one I like the most. But if you're going to go for the most intriguing use of the Predator-Prey allegory, Beastars is where to go.
Yeah. I mean, me once again, I haven't watched BNA yet, so I personally can sadly only talk about Zootopia and Beastars. I like them both for very, very different reasons. I mean, with Zootopia, it's more a compact story. I would also say like that. I mean, obviously they go for. We all assume they go for a racial analogy. But I'm also not sure if it is maybe meant to be a general prejudice analogy. But yeah, as a story, as a compact, small, easy digestible story, Zootopia is just mwah, I love it. Beastars is grindy, it's dark. I mean, the show opens with a brutal murder. This is not a spoiler. This is the intro, and by the end of the first season, it's still unresolved. So, murder is a regular thing in this world. It's a lot heavier cost. So, liking it for very different reasons. And I find it hard to compare them even. But yeah, Saber, as a local Zootopia expert.
Right. And nobody else. So, Beastars, this truly is a tough answer because, like, as far as being just a compact like story with good pacing and tone and like we can take it seriously but not go too dark, Zootopia. I really like Judy. I like Nick. I like their relationship. I like the world. I love the world building. Like Zootopia as a city is so cool.
Yes.
Zootopia setting beats Beastars and BNA. But when it comes to action, BNA. When it comes to actual like dark tones and really embracing like a world where it's predators versus prey, Beastars wins. And in that regard, I would choose Beastars as my favorite so far. But I've read the manga, and the direction the manga's gone in was in a direction where I'm like, oh, we're doing this? Oh, lame.
Oh.
and not to give a spoiler, that's just a personal preference where I'm like, okay, I see what you're doing, but we're going down this path. You're better than that. You're better than that. So, I guess I will give my props to Beastars for being so dark and for like going like, yes, racism, sexism, genocide, prejudice, and stereotypes, and because of that, it opens up possibilities, and also to make it where it's like, oh, characters aren't invincible. Versus there's a certain bit of plot armor for things like Zootopia. There's a bit of plot armor even for BNA. And also BNA was a bit more hollow, where it's like, oh, this should have been 24 episodes to really flesh things out. Because where the focus
that's a Trigger sin. Trigger stuff is a lot of eye candy with not a lot of substance. Except in your Little Witch Academy. Little Witch Academy is great.
I love Kill la Kill, personally.
Oh, I'm saying these are not to say that these are not good things.
No, I got you.
Yeah. Sometimes things don't need to be plot heavy to be good. Sometimes you need your popcorn flick.
It's true.
You know?
The plot of Kill la Kill is amazingly stupid, but I love it.
It's unapologetically stupid, but like I feel like for BNA, it's like, okay, here's the main character and here's the direction and what's going on. Why aren't we talking more about her? What's going on with her? Okay, this is the direction we're going in with this too. It felt hollow. It felt like at the end of it all, what they were delivering, and I'm like, that was because I don't have to have a plot that's like, here's the direction we're going. Surprise, we're going this way. Like, Parasite was a complete 180 where I was like, what the fuck just happened? And I went from being like, I like this film, I like the chemistry, I like the wait, what the fuck? Like, just happened. Wow, it's hooked. Versus BNA where it's like, okay, I'm on board and what's happening? So I don't know. It wasn't as satisfying because you have to, if you're going in a different direction, you've got to back it up and really hook the audience in at that moment, which I feel like BNA failed at. So that's my 2 cents. Okay. B stars. I go with B stars. For the first season of B stars, I pick it. With Zootopia, it's very close as a runner-up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't have a lot of questions here anymore, so I guess we can get to the FMK since it's getting later.
Bring us home, Keyframe.
Okay. From Never Worry About Being a Furry. As requested by Keyframe on the last AWKWARDcast, we have to get our list, check it thrice, and be sure to leave out the milk. Leave out the milk and cookies for that holly jolly guy to come down our chimneys and get us presents with our favorite holiday. Yes, fuck, marry, kill Santa Claus.
But it's August.
I don't care. I want to think about Christmas. Okay, so these are different.
You skipped it. Odie posts the Tim Allen one next week again because I want to have the Tim Allen one too. But yeah, today it's Santa Claus all the way.
Yeah, it's Santa Claus. It's my Christmas, my day. So these are different Santa Clauses from media. So we have Tim Allen's Santa Claus, Tom Hanks's Santa Claus, and Ed Asner's Santa Claus. Okay. I hope you all have been on the nice or naughty list and be prepared to have those stockings stuffed with all the best goodies. When was Tom Hanks Santa?
I'm also not sure. I don't know Ed Asner Santa or Tom Hanks Santa.
Me neither.
Oh, Polar Express. He was Santa in Polar Express. And then Ed Asner Santa. Why do I have a feeling the Ed Asner Santa was... Oh, Elf.
Oh.
Man, you picked some weird Santas.
Oh, yeah, he was Santa and Elf. That's right.
And Elf is the one.
The Will Ferrell movie where, Buddy is like going to find his...
We have Santa from Miracle in Manhattan. We have Santa from Guardians. Rise of the Guardians. I don't know two of those Santas. I don't know. I believe I have watched Elf when I was a child, but I have no active memories of it.
Would you want us to do Tim Allen? Do you want us to do Tim Allen?
I mean,
we'll do Tim Allen.
I don't want to backstab Enigma like that.
Sorry, and we'll do Santa Claus next week. We'll do Tim Allen.
When you have better Santa Clauses.
For Fuck, Marry, Kill, we have Tim Allen from the Santa Claus, Tim Allen from Christmas with the Cranks, and Tim Allen from the movie where he turns into a dog when he gets too excited. Shaggy Dog, what? I think that's called.
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Yeah, Shaggy Dog.
I also don't know two of those Tim Allen movies. There is Galaxy Quest, there is Home Improvement.
It's your fault. It's your fault. Okay, we're gonna go with our guest first. So, which Tim Allen you want to marry, kill, and fuck?
Santa Claus. From the Santa Claus. I'd fuck him.
Okay. Who do you marry then?
Oh wait, no. I marry him. I kill the dog. Yes. I kill the dog one, and then I'd marry the. What was the other one?
Christmas with the Cranks. You're gonna fuck. You fuck Cranks.
I'd marry Santa Claus because he's got a nice pad up in the north, so I can at least live there and enjoy myself with elf, servants. And then I'd shoot the dog. So the end.
You're gonna Old Yeller, the shaggy dog?
I gotta close his ears so he doesn't hear that. I'd shoot the dog.
Oh no! Oh my god! I just looked up the movie poster for the 2000 Shaggy Dog movie. You want to see something terrifying?
Oh, that's awful.
Is it by any? Oh, that is terrifying.
It's a dog with Tim Allen's human eyes. Someone got paid to Photoshop that.
Yeah, I mean that is admittedly terrifying. Wait, I can zoom in a bit. But you know what's also terrifying?
What?
Ew.
Okay, so
Sega already killed it, so I cannot kill it anymore.
Yeah, do you want to go last this time?
Sure.
No, him. Anyway, it's my turn.
Okay.
No, because usually I go last because I get to bullshit what's the leftover combination. Not this time. So I am going to kill Santa Claus.
You want to become
you know
the new
what?
Santa Claus?
I want to become the new Santa Claus, obviously.
Somebody watched the movie and knows the rules.
Yes, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to. From what I saw in the Santa Claus 2, because I do my homework, Mrs. Claus does not gain weight, and I would still be Mrs. Claus.
Oh my God! You broke the system. If you can keep this streak going, you just turned the kill answer into a gold digger answer.
Yes, there you go.
So
I hacked the system.
Who do you marry?
But no, I'm going to marry the dog. Because he should be a good boy, right?
This was
so
my attempt to answer.
And then I'm going to, I guess I'm gonna fuck the Cranks because, well, you know, just why not? You got it. It's the most normal one. He has a house. He's angry, so it's, I guess, some good angry sex. There you go. But have fun, Max.
Yes, I noticed who you set me up for fucking. Well, I mean, this entire podcast was all about furries, so I guess I fucked the dog.
Yeah, I get that on video now.
Wait. This leaves me.
With Santa Claus and Cranks.
So I have to murder the Cranks?
Yes.
Wait, this doesn't add up. Wait, didn't Saber already marry Santa Claus? How is Santa Claus?
Yes, he
What did you do again, Saber?
I shot the dog, I married Santa, and I fucked Christmas with the Cranks. I cranked his.
Oh, I didn't fuck. I fucked the Cranks too. We fucked them together. So I get. So I guess well, if I killed Santa, no, then I'd have to fuck the dog. No!
I have this now on video.
Enjoy fucking.
I mean, Keyframe.
Tim Allen dog.
It is not as bad as you think, Keyframe. Think about that, cunnilingus.
I mean, you have a point, but at what cost? How do I? Apparently, he becomes a dog when he gets excited. So if he gets more excited, then that's some Red Rocket shit right there, and I don't need that.
Well, wait, does this leave us after we both screwed up our answers?
I don't know, in a very, very awkward place.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random grabs. Time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guests. It's the awkward. Hard work and analysis, which you do not